This week's question comes from Jan Brownlee. Jan asks, Dear Mayor Coleman, what is your favorite book and why? Well, I have a lot of favorite books. The books I like to read about are books on political biographies, books on history, ancient history. I read books about great political leaders. I think I've read every book there is written about the Kennedys, about President Franklin Roosevelt. On ancient history, I like to read about the city of Athens and the great Renaissance that the city of Athens, Greece had, the ancient history of Egypt and the Middle East, and I think last summer I read a book on Spartacus and Caesar. I read, most recently I've read a book called The Game Change, and it is a book about the 2008 presidential elections and the inside scoop of what happened in that race on both sides. And it was interesting to see what occurred that we never see on TV, but you hear about what you read about. And it was interesting to see some of the players that I had a chance to meet during that period of time. The book I'm reading now is none of the above. It's not a political biography. It is not a historical book, but is more of a spiritual book, and it's called The Shack. And I enjoy reading, and it's something I do almost every day with the books. I have a huge collection of books. But mostly I enjoy those political biographies. They're fun to read. I learn a lot from them. And when it especially comes to history, books about history. The reason I like to read about books about history is simply because history repeats itself. And I've become a student of history. And I want to repeat the good things in history and avoid the bad things in history if they do repeat themselves. So that's basically what I've read. And the question is now, what do you read? Send me something. Let me know what kind of books this audience reads, and I'd be interested to hear that. So thank you for your question, Jan. And if you would like to ask me a question, you could send me your questions via Facebook, Twitter, or email at askthemayor@columbus.gov.